latest breaking news with latest in Upland, and the news with latest in Upland, with the metaverse, step into the world, ready to with his chat attack, step into the world, ready to with the metaverse, step into the world, ready to with his with his shack attack.
Hey everyone, it's Shaktilin. It's been a crazy week learning about these totems, and thanks to the community, we have been able to gather a tremendous amount of information about totems. And I am certainly not the genius that figured this stuff out. There have been a lot of incredible community members supplying us with the information as they compile data and draw their conclusions. Thanks to them, I am now able to make this video that should simplify your understanding of totems and how to successfully care for them. The first thing that you need to know, before I get into that, I should mention that this is not 100% positive or guaranteed. This is to the best of our knowledge, or to the best of my knowledge at this time. I'm just trying to get you in the ballpark so that you can have success with your totem. It does not mean that there might not be little tweaks that you can make to have even more success. So we will keep learning as we go. But based on what I understand right now, here is what you need to know. So for starters, when you fed your totem the first time, that is your totem's activation time. Why does this matter? The activation time occurs in the middle of your totem's feeding interval. So you see on the left here is when an interval begins. On the right is when an interval ends. At the end of an interval is when you get your reward. The ideal feeding time occurs in the middle of that. And at the time that you activate your totem, you are then in the middle of that cycle. And so since this is the sweet spot, and you already found that spot by activating your totem. So for example, if you activate your totem at 1:00 p.m., that is the sweet spot. And you're going to want to calculate all of your future feedings based off of that initial activation time. Now, how do you know? Once you've decided that your first feeding occurred at a certain time of day, how do you know when the next feeding should be? That is made relatively simple just using a color chart. The geniuses in the Upland community have figured out that orange totems need to be fed every 8 hours, brown totems need to be fed every 12 hours. Purple at 16 hours, green at 24 hours, red at around 32 hours, blue at 40 hours, and yellow at 48 hours. So you take your initial activation time, which again was your first ever feeding. Take that activation time, look at the color of your totem, use this color chart, and simply add that number of hours to your initial feeding time. My favorite totem is the green because it's once every 24 hours. And that means since I activated my green totems at 1:00 p.m., I get to feed them every day at 1:00 p.m. And it makes it very simple. The others take a little bit more attention and time to calculate and to keep track of so that you don't miss a feeding. And your rewards will drop right around the middle between feedings. So if you feed your totem at 1 o'clock p.m. and it's a green totem whose cycle is 24 hours, it will be 1 o'clock a.m. when the rewards drop. You can collect the rewards at 1 a.m. and then come back at 1 p.m. to feed your totem again. So rewards drop at the midpoint between feedings. So now that we know how to use the totem color to determine how frequently each totem needs to be fed, we need to take a look at how much protem to feed each kind of totem. Thanks to the amazing people at Analytic Assassins and the UPX Tavern, we are able to use this chart that they put together to figure out how much our totems need to be fed. So what you want to do is look at your totem's body style. There's elegant, gamer, ancient, fantasy, future, painted, and fluid. So you're going to use your totem's color and body type and find the matching name on this chart. So at the very top in the orange section, for example, it says that the fluid orange totem does very well if you feed it 22 protem at the appropriate feeding times. So find your totem's color and body style, locate the color and style on this chart, and that will tell you how much to feed your totem. Now that you know the feeding times and the feeding amount for your totems, you want to make a spreadsheet, a nice chart, so that you can stay organized and so you can make sure that you do not miss any of your feedings. So this is the way that I chose to do my chart. I actually have several spreadsheets. This particular one is just the feeding schedule. So you can see here I have this cheetah is orange gamer. The prescription for taking care of it is to feed it 15 protem every 8 hours. So the feeding times are 1 o'clock p.m. and then 9 o'clock p.m., then 5 a.m. the next day, and then we're back to 1 p.m. Some more complicated ones would be, for example, this red fantasy shark. This shark needs 52 protem every 32 hours. He was activated at 1 p.m., which means his next feeding time is 9 p.m. the next day. And then he needs to be fed at 5 a.m. the day after tomorrow, followed by a feeding at 1 p.m. the next day. So this can feel very complicated unless you write it down. And so once you've written it down, it becomes a recipe book, and all you have to do is follow the recipe. So to me, the trick for totems is to track your data, be organized, create your recipe book, and then just follow the recipe. I have enjoyed tracking my data since the initial activation of my totems. I have 12 totems, and I have tracked the data just like this for each of them since the beginning, noting my initial attempts and the mistakes that I've made, the error messages that I've gotten, and I've watched my spend score go down from 100 go down, and then once I figured out the better way to care for my totems, as I just explained in the previous minutes. I initiated a reset of my feeding times so that my feeding times would correspond to my initial activation time. In the far right column, you can see where I typed the word reset. That is the first time when I got back on track using the original activation as a guideline. And since I have done that, I am able to see my spend score starting to go back up. And so I find that really rewarding. And I know that data tracking is not for everyone, but I really rely on it a lot. And so this is what mine looks like. It might be something you want to do too. So now it is right in between feedings for my orange totems. And so I want to go ahead and run through what it looks like when I collect the rewards from my orange totems and then record the data on my spreadsheet. So let's see if the rewards are available for my orange totems. I fed them at around 1 o'clock p.m. and since the cycle takes 8 hours between feedings, so at the middle of that, which is the 4-hour mark, is about when the rewards should start dropping. It has been 6 hours, so I expect a reward to be waiting. Let's take a look. Yes, that little tree on the bottom left is the reward. So I'm going to check my score. The score usually changes around the time rewards are dropped. And good. I see that I'm doing a good job because my score keeps going up from 65.9 at around 1 o'clock, now 66.7 at around 6 o'clock. So that's the spend score. And let's check on the rewards at 4.64, which is a little lower than last time for some reason. All right, so let's collect the reward. So just note that the time of collecting the reward is not the same as feeding time. The reward should drop right around the middle in between your feedings. So we'll exit out of that. So that was orange cheetah. Let's scroll down to orange gorilla. And we'll do the same thing again. Orange gorilla. Hi, little guy. All right, let's check on the score, 69.7. So that one went up as well. So right now, all that I'm doing is recording my spend score and my Totem rewards. So 69.7. The score went up since 1 o'clock today. And let's check the rewards. 2.96, also lower. Interesting phenomenon. I think one of the reward curves goes up and down. So don't pay too much attention to the rewards because each, I think there's 11 different varieties or something, 11 different reward curves. And we're going to see all kinds of crazy things happen. All right, so now we're done with orange gorilla right now. Let's look at our other orange, which is the orange goat. What is our spend score? It's the same as it, oh, no. No, it went up. 69.4 was last time, and now it's 69.7. Again, we aren't feeding right now. We are just collecting the reward. It's 6:16 p.m. Score went up to 69.7. And check the reward at 2.96, the same as the previous totem. Okay, make sure to collect the reward and exit out. Let's see, what else I needed to feed. Okay, I don't have to feed until 9 p.m. So we will exit out of this. And so to recap all of this information in 10 simple steps. Number 1, start a blank spreadsheet. Number 2, record your totem names, colors, and body styles on the spreadsheet. Step 3, use the color chart to find the interval or the number of hours between feedings for each of your totems. Number 4, use the style chart by the Analytic Assassins and UPX Tavern to find the correct feeding amount for each totem. Number 5, compile all of this information in an organized way on a spreadsheet. Number 6, using your totem activation time as the starting time. Number 7, calculate future feeding times based off of the activation time. Step 8, organize your feeding times on paper or text. Step 9, set feeding alarms on your phone so that you never miss a feeding. And 10, record your results as you go, your spend score and your totem earned, so that you can track your progress and the happiness level of your totem on the spreadsheet. I personally have a lot of faith that Upland is going to reward us with great rewards if we learn how to care for our totems right. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I wish you the best of luck, and be sure to hop into the Analytic Assassins Discord or the Creedmoor Hub Discord in order to get more information or have your questions answered, because the community is working hard on this and it's a really, really fun project to work on together. So best of luck and tap into the metaverse. I will see you in Upland.
Upland Metaverse.